So here's the thing. I see a lot of people, and when I say a lot of people, again, we've all been through it. I've been through it. It is normal. But I've seen a lot of people where you don't embrace what God's trying to set up in your life because it's not lining up with your logic. It's not making sense to you. It's not in agreement with what some other people have said they believe should be happening in your life right now. And so one thing I can tell you from personal experience, and I'm sure many of you can agree, a lot of times what God wants you to do isn't going to make any sense. A lot of times what he has planned is not going to be some simple puzzle you can put together and it's like, oh yeah, I see exactly where this is going. No, it's going to sometimes be confusing. And again, not confusing because God is confusing you, because he is not the author of confusion, but confusing to us because again, it goes against what we think should be the case or how we think things should play out or what we think we should do. Again, we're leaning on our own understanding and not his. So we have to be very careful to think that logic has to be a part of this process, or what we find is logical to us. And understand that logic is simply limited knowledge, all right, and understanding based on what you've been taught or told throughout your life. So essentially, if someone has taught you your entire life that the sky is blue, then it'd be illogical to you if someone says the sky is actually green because you've been taught differently. But that doesn't mean you're actually correct in some situations. What we've been taught, what we've been led to believe is not always the case. So ultimately, you've got to keep an open mind when it comes to God. His blessings can come in ways we cannot imagine. They can require a process that we will not understand, all right? And not only will we not understand it, people around us won't understand it. Because that's one of the biggest deterrents or blockers of blessings is people not only leaning on their own understanding, but leaning on other people's understanding. Now listen, there's nothing wrong with seeking counsel. There's nothing wrong with getting insight from people, but none of those people are God. None of those people have the final say so. Any of you who have read any of my books, you know I always say to you, pray about it. Take the information I'm giving you and go back to God. So even this video, as you watch it, I don't want you to just take my word. No, I want you to take what I'm telling you, go into prayer, talk to God, and see what God puts in your spirit. Because ultimately, you have to always go back to the source. That's how you ensure you stay on the right track and that people aren't deterring you, because many people have good intentions, but they're not God intentions. They're not driven by what God wanted them to say to you or do. Perfect example, I have to give this story real quick. I don't want to name any names, but coming up in this career, this purpose that I'm in right now, once upon a time, I was struggling a lot. And a family member of mine was saying, oh, you need to get a regular job or real job, so to speak. You know, this obviously isn't it because it's not working out for you or you're not making any money. You can't sustain your life with this. And I would explain to them that, listen, every time I pray about this, God is telling me don't go anywhere. Don't do anything different. Do not get a regular job. Stick with this. And so one day I said to them, I said, listen, how about, because I understand their intentions were good, all right? But I said, I want you to go pray and ask God what you should be saying to me about this situation. So they took me up on my offer. They went, and I want to say like a week later, we met back up. And I said, okay, did you pray? And they're like, yes. I said, well, what did God say to you? And they said, God told me I don't need to tell you anything. You already know what you need to do. All right. Now, the funny part about that is they interpreted it as, you know, you need to get a job, so I'm going to tell you anymore, rather than trusting that I was hearing God say to me, don't do anything different than I was doing. Now, fast forward, look where I'm at, extremely successful, have been able to serve my purpose in a way that has helped a lot of people, and I know I did what God wanted me to do. But it's so easy to be swayed by other individuals and our own logic. So be careful with that. Again, always remember, lean on God's understanding, not your own, not other people. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. remove negative influences. So, okay, we talked about arguments and we're going to limit those, right? And negative talk. But let's think about negative influences. So, excuse me, I realized at one time where